And how many movies have you directed?
4.
So, I Love You, Don't Touch Me. Something Julie? No.
Amy's Orgasm.
Amy's Orgasm was the biggest one. Yeah. The next one was?
All Over the Guy.
Huge. And then our movie.
Yeah.
So, All Over the Guy, was that... Oh my God! I don't know. No disrespect to the girl. Was it the girl the blonde-haired girl, star of it?
No, it was actually. You're way off base, but that's okay because it was a long time ago. It was a gay romantic comedy.
Oh my bad.
No, it's and if you were a gay man, you probably would have seen it. It was a really popular. I'm so proud of it. We like to call it when Harry met Larry.
Joey Lauren Adams.
Oh, no. Well, that was Chasing Amy.
My bad.
I wish that was a movie I made because that would really be... No, because that movie was so successful. But, no, All Over the Guy was a gay romantic comedy. It was low budget, and it was a really big... It's one of the... They said it's one of the top 50 gay films ever made, like on the list. I read that somewhere, and I'm really proud of it. And there's no agenda in it. It just happens to be two men who fall in love, and they're dating ups and downs, and... Being gay really never even comes up in the movie. It's just real, relationships are relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Love is love, to quote, and it doesn't have an agenda. And I think it was one of the reasons they wanted a straight woman to direct it. So it would just be about the relationship.
You got hired for that?
I got hired.
So wait, your movie I Love You, Don't Touch Me was your baby.
That was my baby, and then Amy's Orgasm was my baby. And Amy's Orgasm I actually acted in too.
Yes, you starred in it.
And then Caroline Aaron, who plays Shirley Maisel on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, wonderful actress, wonderful person. She was friends with Don Roos and Dan Bukatinsky, gay couple. Dan was trying to make his first movie, and they were looking for a director. And she said, "I just worked with Julie Davis. She knows how to stretch a dollar. She's no one can stretch a dollar better." Because they also they had $500,000 to make this movie, and it was Dan's baby, and we all met, and they hired me. Yeah.
But that movie made its money back.
Yeah, that movie did well. Lionsgate bought it.
It got a theatrical.
Got a theatrical release worldwide, and it was a good movie. It was a good movie. I'm really proud of it.
I just thought of something.
What?
What, is that a fly?
Yeah, there's a fly buzzing around me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's. I went to the gym. I think I should have taken a shower.
No, stop it.
I can't believe I said that. Yeah, and then Finding Bliss, which took years. There was a big gap to get that one financed. But
am I the career killer?
Oh my God! You know what?
You're the last movie you directed was one with me.
No. Oh my God! You know what?
We went to Sundance.
The problem with that movie was that we did not. Oh boy, I don't even want to go there.
Go there.
I know. I don't even want to go there.
A tiny bit.
Okay.
The problem with the movie is what?
Well, the script was much better than the movie, and why was the script much better than the movie? Because, and I'm not going to say because there wasn't enough money, because because the money was not used properly. The money went into pockets of people.
Who took that money?
Instead of onto the screen, which my 3 movies before that, all the money went on the screen.
Who took the money? I can edit it out. Was it Jeff?
Well, there were so many producers.
I think Hollywood's done, so you can go off.
Well, there were so many producers. I mean, when you see these movies sometimes, and there's so many producers, which is such an insult to the real producer. Yeah. The real producer who does all the work, right? Who gets that movie going, who gets the money up on the screen, who just shepherds that project from the beginning all the way to the end. The real producer, right? The one who gets the Academy Award for Best Picture, because that goes to the producer. They are so watered down now because everyone who had anything to do with that movie gets a producing credit. Oh, my friend will give you $50,000, but I want a producing credit. Oh, I will introduce you to this actor, but I want a producing credit. And then these people are never seen from again. And at the end of the day, there's like 10 producers, 8 producers, and they're all taking a piece of the pie, and then there's no money left to go on screen. I mean, this is for low budget, but that's what happened with Finding Bliss. There was no money left to go onto the screen, And I was also forced into using certain people I didn't want to use in crew and cast positions. So, a director is as good as the choice, who they hire, and not just the actors, but the production designer, the director of photography, the editor. I mean, you're as strong as your weakest link. And there were a lot of weak links. And I just didn't have control. But I made the choice. I had Jamie Kennedy. I had Kristen Johnston, two of my favorites. I had Matt Davis. I had some good actors.
And Lily.
And Lily and PJ and Marcia
and Denise.
And Denise Richards.
You have a lot of good people.
But in some of those smaller roles, I had to do local hires, and they were not good. And when you can't have one scene with a bad actor, the whole movie feels it. And you can't have, if you don't have the production designer you picked, the production designer's like a lead actor. Think of Barbie with a bad production designer.
The production design was a
star.
Yes, star for sure.
So, movies it's a miracle that a movie turns out well, because there are so many things that can go wrong. One, wrong choice, one wrong casting choice, one wrong, crew choice. And it was hard, I love the story.
People no, this is how we know each other. I've known her before this, but we did this movie together, Finding Bliss, and it was your original idea about a woman, and it was all based off of your truth.
Yeah.
So tell a quick log line of the movie.
So it's based on my experience when I first moved out to Los Angeles at 21, wanting to be a filmmaker, a writer, director, telling personal stories, and the only job I could get was editing porn.
Wow.
Yeah. And in the movie, you kind of amp it up. She's like the star of her film school. Gary Marshall, who actually is in the movie.
Yeah, Gary's in it.
Great guy. Gary Marshall is the one who gives her, Best Student Film Award at her AFI, commencement. That's the opening of the movie. And then cut to, she's like, directing traffic on the studio lot and can't make ends meet. And she gets this opportunity to edit porn. And
that's real.
Parts of,
Did you edit porn?
I did edit porn.
For what company?
I wasn't the star of my film school, but I did edit porn. Gary Marshall didn't give me Best Student Film. But I edited, I was the senior producer of on-air promotions at Playboy, the Playboy channel. But the Playboy channel...
Softcore.
That's what people think, but they ran after midnight. They had to deal with Vivid Video. And they would do cut-downs of Vivid hardcore porn, and my job was to cut out the hardcore.
Wow.
So I would look at the dailies, and this was before Viagra. So I would look at the dailies of the man not being able to get a hard on. It would be take 1, take 2, take 3. Okay, he's hard. Let's go. Take 4. And I would be the one looking at the dailies and cutting the hardcore out.
I can't believe that. So you edited porn, and you basically had to make the TV edits.
I did the TV edits, yeah.
And how long did you do that for?
1 year to the day. I said to myself, I'm not getting stuck here. Some of my coworkers had been there for years, and they had other dreams. One was a musician, and I remember very specifically like how he had just been working in the tape room for years, and they were all this was supposed to be temporary, and here they were, and that was my greatest fear, is that, oh my God, I can't wind up, I went to Dartmouth, I was a senior fellow, I made a student film, I went to AFI, I'm like this nice Jewish girl from Miami. I don't belong here cutting, softcore porn. Like, this cannot be my life. And it was so incongruous with my ambitions. And I got out when I got what I could, and what I could, and I got a lot. I learned the Avid, huge. I learned to edit on the Avid. So, like, the greatest thing, I learned about how to do on-air promotions, how to craft them, how to write them, edit them, do the online. I met great people. My coworkers were so great. And I learned a lot about sex.
I have a lot of questions. Was it at the Vivid on Cahuenga?
Oh no, it wasn't on Cahuenga then.
So it was at Vivid where?
Well, Vivid then was in the Valley on Hatteras because I had to go there once. But I didn't go to Vivid. I worked at the Playboy, which was above the Mercedes dealership on Maple Drive, which was the most gorgeous building, and it was all of Hef's artwork. There was an enormous breast. I'll never forget this. It was an oil painting of this huge tit on the stair above the staircase because it was a double layer. The building was the office was two levels.
Mm-hmm.
It was all open. It was gorgeous. It was like this glass staircase, and on the side of the staircase, and you go up and down. My office was on the third floor. The editing room was on the second, so I was always going up and down. It was this enormous oil painting of a erect nipple, and it was so beautiful. And I would sometimes look like, this is crazy. Like I just came from Dartmouth, and now this is where I spend my days. But it was a celebration. I mean, it was. They treated it like we were working for the Wall Street Journal. I mean, my boss was so serious. He was so professional. If I had, a second too long on a cut, he would make me redo it. And I'm like, this is like for people to jerk off to. Do I really need to do another second? Like, really? I mean, we're really going to go through how many frames, of the cut?
What would he say?
He was so professional. For him, he took this very seriously. And it was good for me. Like, I worked with people who were really professional. And it was funny because of what we were doing. But it was a business, and it's a business that doesn't exist anymore. This was before the internet. And
I have so many questions. How did you get the job?
I got the job because I was constantly editing. So I was making a living as I was writing, writing scripts. I was making a living as an editor. And I would get these freelance editing jobs, and I would edit in my little apartment in Hollywood. So I was always renting equipment, and I'd be carrying the equipment in and out of my apartment. And one of my neighbors one day came up to me and said, I see you're an editor, and my friend works at the Playboy channel, and they're looking for head editor.
Wow.
Are you interested? And
wow.
Like, oh my God, a real job? Like a real job? And I said yes. And oh my God,
they loved you. You're perfect because you were such professionally trained, and you're such a high classy individual, and they thought they were doing that, and in a way they were. I mean, you could consider Playboy the Rolls Royce of porn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you go in and you do that, and you said some interesting stuff, and I have questions. So you saw that classy tit. Do you think porn has innovated a lot of things that people don't give it credit for? Like, you learned to be an editor.
Yeah.
It also innovated the paywall.
Interesting. I have nothing to say about that I don't know much about that.
Okay. But do you cut your teeth on this?
I did. I learned so much. I mean, I edited 8 hours a day. And I have to say it was a little different then because they also had original movies. And some of these movies were not bad. They really were not bad. And I remember some of them till this day. They were, like kind of Red Shoe Diaries type, but they were features. And they weren't bad.